Hello. It's me, Queen P.R. Welcome back to Watch What Happens NXT, where WWE meets pop culture. Hey guys, it's Monday. You know what that means. I am so excited to be back for my weekly show. We kick off Raw the right way. We get into some fun wrestling news. We talk about some pop culture news, that intersection of where WWE meets pop culture. So we have a jam-packed show tonight. Hey, Matt. Welcome. So last week, hey, Wrestling Realm, we had an amazing show. And it made me really excited about what this show can be live every Monday. Hi, Rakarsha. Okay, now we can really start. So this show, I like to just warn people, is not your regular wrestling show. This is where WWE meets pop culture. Hey, Justin. Hey, Vaughn. Hey, Trell. Yes, the building is packed tonight. So this isn't the wrestling show where we're going to talk about Raw and Smackdown highlights or match ratings or any of that shit. We get into the fun wrestling news. We keep up with the top rope tea and what all your favorite wrestlers are up to outside of the ring. We got some Cody Rhodes stuff. We got John Cena stuff, Ronda Rousey, Edge, Samoa Joe. We have a jam-packed show. It is my go-home show for SummerSlam. So there is a lot happening. So how about we get into our first story of the night. So today, Complex just dropped their new sneaker shopping video with none other than Cody Rhodes. Now, this series on Complex is one of my favorites because I love sneakers. And I think it's really interesting hearing celebrities talk about what sneakers they buy. And I think in wrestling, like, it's all become such a thing now. Like, everyone has sneaker game now. Everyone's wearing Jordans and Nikes to the ring. You know, like, it's become clearly a thing. Other WWE superstars have been on the show. Triple H, Roman Reigns was on there during Mania season. And Cody Rhodes was on here promoting SummerSlam, of course. And he was there in a suit. So yes, Vaughn, it's also my favorite. I want to know those in the comments. What's the last pair of sneakers you bought? Because I had to come to that because I was packing for SummerSlam in Cleveland, and I was just like, I don't need sneakers. I bought so many sneakers I have not worn yet that I cannot wait to pull out in Cleveland. But I want to know from you guys in the comments, what's the last pair of sneakers you bought? Like, and I don't mean just like gym shoes and stuff like that. I want to know, like, what sneakers that you got on that app for that you might have, like wished for. Navy blue ones, Jordan ones from Vaughn. Those sound dope. So Cody bought a lot of sneakers and his total came up to like $9,000 and something dollars, like his receipt at the end of the show. And he thought that he spent the most money sneaker shopping out of everyone in WWE that's gone on the show, but he didn't even rank number one. He ranked like 2 or 3. Number one was Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan spent the most amount of money on her sneakers, and I think it got up to like $10,000, which is crazy. More than 10,000, 11,000 plus dollars on sneakers. So I would say if we had to guess, Liv Morgan has the best kind of shoe game. If you go to Complex and you're spending $11,000, like, you got it. But before Cody went sneaker shopping, they do a little conversation, and I thought that was fun. And he said that if there was anyone, if there was anyone that deserved their own sneaker in WWE, he said, shockingly, Jade Uso should have his own sneaker. So I thought that was fun because, I mean, Jade kind of is like the trendiest person right now in WWE. I think we will all get a pair of sneakers we eat on it at this point. He also talked about when he stomped out JD McDonough's head with the Tiffany Air Force Ones. And if you're not familiar with the Tiffany Air Force Ones, they're the black ones with the blue check, the Tiffany blue check, limited edition. They're like super expensive. And Cody didn't even know how much they were. Brandy, his wife, actually bought him those sneakers, which I thought was cute. He didn't even realize like how dope the sneakers that he had on were. But another thing that he mentioned was that he does not wear the same suit or sneakers more than once on live TV. And he said that he got that from Ric Flair. That's his Ric Flair rule. And now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen Cody in the same suit twice on TV. Now that I think about it, or even sneakers, the rare times that he does wear sneakers. So that's pretty cool. He talked about how he dresses now. You know, you rarely ever find Cody Rhodes out of a suit. He like posted, I don't even know if it was him or if WWE posted like candids from something, and Cody was in like athletic wear, and everybody was like, this looks weird. Now we know why you wear a suit all the time. So you wonder how people react to Cody wearing a suit every day. And this is what he had to say about wearing
I
a
will
suit.
probably be a suit guy in the industry forever.
Okay.
And this, I don't know if this is appropriate for this show or not, but I'll say it, and I've said it in interviews prior. Anyone who I've ever worked with in business who's intimidated by the fact that you wear a suit, I feel like they have a little dick.
First of all, just hearing Cody say that he has experienced people that might have little dick energy is hilarious to me. And I agree. Like, if you are doing business with someone, or if in general you're intimidated by a man that likes to look good in a suit every day, then I think that's something that you need to like reevaluate yourself. That don't got nothing to do with Cody Rhodes. He also talked about just his family. He's such a family man. He's so good at these media appearances because he is so lovable. Of course, they mentioned Dusty Rhodes somehow, some way in that fucking Complex video. You know what's happening. But one Dusty moment I do think was cute was in Japan. Them giving Cody his father's robe. I thought was really, really cool. Oh my God. And he's running around like his dad. That is so adorable. I love that. And that's a moment I think we should bring up Dusty, but I'm also curious of like, does he ever get tired of talking about Dusty? But yeah, Nick talked about the Air Jordan 1s, red and black bloodline colors. Yes. You can never go wrong with those. I don't know about mids, but do you, bro? He also bought sneakers for Brandy and Liberty when he ended up closing out his tab. So I thought that was cute as well. I wanted to talk about what Nicholas is talking about with the Air Reigns. And I know that it kind of went viral when Jordan gifted Roman some stuff for Mania, that there was this Bloodline Jordan coming out. No, there is a sneaker called the Bloodline in Jordan collection, and they are red and black, but they are not Roman Reigns Bloodline Jordan at all. But if they were smart, they would come out with the Air Reigns. I totally agree with you on that one, Matt. Hey, Mike. What's the last pair of sneakers you bought, Mike? I want to know, because Cody just went sneaker shopping. We know what his sneaker game is looking like. What is your sneaker game looking like recently? So, next on today's show, so Sonya Deville and Sheamus recently did a thing with Major League Soccer, and they did a challenge. So all of their Olympic challenges, soccer, Sheamus and Sonya Deville came, and they were able to do some of those challenges. Sonya Deville actually used to play soccer. So she was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then she joked like, whoa, on Instagram, she joked that it's been a while since she was able to do some of that, but she thinks that she was able to keep up. So they were actually at the All-Star Games Challenge, and they took photos with former MLS players, Morris Do, Isaac Walker, and it was really one of those events that it's good to have WWE's presence. Sonya Deville was also able to meet some fans. She was able to sign some autographs and present a championship belt to the winners. It was sponsored by AT&T. So these are the sorts of events that we want to see WWE's presence on, because it's Olympic season. Every sport right now is being represented, and it's nice to see WWE making a splash. Now, I was hoping to see some WWE stars at the Olympics, and I really have a feeling that next Olympics is in LA. First of all, the next Summer Olympics in 2028 is in LA. I am saying it now on the show that WWE is going to have a presence at that Olympics, even if we're just visiting, like even if we're just spectators. Because right now I am so into the Olympics, by the way, and like you see like Lady Gaga's there, John Legend, and like all these celebrities, and I just know WWE is going to be there, like Flavor Flav. I mean, Snoop Dogg's literally been doing a little bit of everything, and we love that for him. And I also just like to see Sonya back out there doing things. So this was fun to see. We've got some news. So San Diego Comic-Con was this past week, and it was jam-packed. Like, wrestlers were there. Like, there was a lot happening at Comic-Con. I'm sure all our Marvel fans, I'm sure you heard about that new Doom character. Like, a lot came out of Comic-Con, but also AEW and some wrestlers were there making a splash as well. Ronda Rousey, UFC legend, announced her pregnancy. Her and her husband are expecting their second child, and I know that's something that she's wanted, so I'm very happy for her. They have a daughter already named Lakea, and she's also a stepmom to his two sons, so they'll be welcoming another baby into their family, which is really, really cute. But that's not the news that I want to talk about. Ronda Rousey announced her graphic novel. She was on a panel hosted by Batista, and she announced her graphic novel called Expecting the Unexpected. She did a Kickstarter for it. She wanted to raise $20,000 to make this graphic novel happen, and it has closed. I'm not sure how much money she ended up raising, but when I was preparing for the show, I had saw that she already pulled in $6,000 out of her goal. So good for you, Rhonda. But her graphic novel is what I'm really, really excited about, and she wrote it, and it's called Expecting the Unexpected. And it follows a newly pregnant mom with a bounty on her head as she fights off waves of assassins. Ooh, fun, spicy. But what I really think is cool about this is she's working with Mike Deodato Jr., who is also has a martial arts background and illustrates the graphic novel. And Rhonda choreographs the fight scenes. And that is what Mike illustrates, is Ronda Rousey doing these fight scenes, and those are the scenes that you see in the graphic novel. So I think that is really, really cool. Also, the fact that she's an expecting mom of two, and the protagonist is a pregnant mom, like, I think that is really, really, really cool and groundbreaking, and it just shows the presence of women in these spaces. Like, you can get powerful stories about women in these spaces. We talked about last week AJ Lee and her sister's new comic book series that is strong in female power, but also representing their Mexican heritage. So just seeing women in these spaces that are normally reserved for men, having it announced at San Diego Comic-Con, really, really, really cool. I'm excited to see what this graphic novel is about. If let's see, is there a date that it's going to come out? I don't know. But some other Ronda Rousey news: she is writing her own biopic for Netflix, and it's going to be based on her two memoirs. One just came out. Brian H. Waters is a huge fan of it and keeps saying that I need to read it, so I will definitely put that on my reading list. But I just love that Ronda Rousey is, she's one of one. She's telling her own story in her own ways, and she's sharing, stories that she's passionate about. And she has a daughter, and she wants to make sure that she is building a world that her daughters can live in, where there's powerful women that they can look up to. So I'm very, very excited about that. Have you guys read Ronda Rousey's book? Let me know. Are you guys excited about her graphic novel? Do you think it's cool that a pregnant woman is a protagonist? Like, I want to know. Let's get into it. So that wasn't the only stuff happening at Comic-Con. AEW made a huge splash at Comic-Con, okay? They were there, and I gotta give it up to them. And I think I mentioned it on previous shows when we talked about their music soundtrack last week, where if there's a checklist for all the things you need to be doing in marketing or multimedia, like, they're trying. AEW has a video game, they have, music, they have their theme songs on YouTube. They're at Comic-Con. They did a panel. So the panel was called AEW's Rise Inside the Ring and Beyond, and it featured Swerve Strickland, Britt Baker, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Toni Storm, Will Ospreay. They also partnered up with DC Comics to release 6 custom origin story comics for Strickland, the people that I just mentioned, which I think is cool because you could really, I think we have a video of the AEW stars opening their comic books for the first time. And I just remember seeing that and being like, this is the type of content that I want to ultimately make with WWE superstars, or even just wrestlers in general, because it's just so cool to see these sorts of things happen. So until we get that video up, they also was photographed on the IMDb boat at Comic-Con. So IMDb, I'm sure everyone knows what that is, the Internet Movie Database. It's a big deal. And they usually have events during these Comic-Con things because there's a lot of comics and movies and TV shows and things talked about, a lot of actors there. So IMDb had a presence, and they had a boat party, and my AEW stores was on that boat. Like, I am living for this. My girl Britt Baker is back rocking all red. I am just like living for just the status of this moment, and I hope one day to keep with AEW superstars on the IMDb boat. Another thing that they did, which was really, really smart, was continue storylines. Okay, Mercedes Moné showed up with her new hitter, and they confronted Britt Baker. And this is where AEW announced that the match was official between Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker at All In, was made official after this confrontation at Comic-Con. So this is really, really fun stuff. Like, just imagine you're just at Comic-Con and you're just like, oh my God, look, it's Britt Baker, it's Will Ospreay. And then Mercedes Moné pops up, and then there's a brawl. And then this match gets announced. Like, look at, who would have thought Toni Storm would be the one, just looking like, oh my God, what is happening? I love it. I love it so much. I love when this type of stuff happens because it's really cool. So this is the video of this really wholesome video of AEW stars opening their custom comic books in partnership with DC Comics. I don't need to express how dope that is. I also want to know where I can get my hands on these comics. Are they Comic-Con exclusives? If so, that is super dope. If not, guys, let me know where I can get it. And I'm with you, Rakarsha. I am very excited to see Britt versus Mercedes. I really hope that main events because I think it has the legs to. And we all know Mercedes knows how to show up for big match moments. Another cool thing that AEW was a part of during San Diego Comic-Con was Battle for the Booty in partnership with Adult Swim. Adult Swim. All my millennial babies out there, remember Adult Swim? Like, what a time that was. But they partnered with AEW for a tag team tournament, and it was their Adult Swim characters versus AEW superstars. So you had Johnny TV, Taya Valkyrie taking on Fang and Meatwad, Willow Nightingale and Orange Cassidy taking on Rachel and Mr. Frog. Super fun stuff. Again, I just love seeing wrestling's presence. They had a really beautiful pink ring. Adult Swim had this like dope like boat type vibe to it. Then it followed by a pirate party on the green. So all in all, like it was a pretty good event. Like if I had to say, like it was a pretty cool event. It makes me want to look forward to San Diego Comic-Con next year because I have a feeling AEW will have a presence there as well. AEW won the tag team tournament, but I don't think it was about that. I think it was about fun. There was also about a royal. So yeah, fun. If you were at San Diego Comic-Con or know someone that was there and they were telling you about it, let me know. I had a hard time finding like high quality recap of this tag team tournament. So if you guys know anything or have seen anything online, pass it my way. I would love to see it. And next we have Twisted Metal. It is a show on Peacock. It's a Peacock exclusive show. And I mentioned it on previous pop culture episodes, but Samoa Joe plays Twisted Metal on this show. And you might have missed him on AEW because he is filming season 2 of this show, which is very exciting. But you want to know some tea? And I'm sorry, the show is called Twisted Metal. He betrays Sweet Voice. Also, Will Arnett voices his character. And Will Arnett from SNL, Arrested Development, he is BoJack Horseman. Like he is an A-list star that voices Samoa Joe's character. But what I learned recently about this was that several WWE superstars auditioned for a new character on the show named Axel. So Omos, Cedric Alexander, and Apollo Crews, amongst many others, auditioned for this show. I don't think any of them were casted, but I just think that's a little interesting little tidbit of information because it also goes to show you like who's interested in like expanding their repertoire, expanding their their careers. And music and TV is honestly one of the easiest ways to do that. Samoa Joe's one of those people that I think we always knew he would be good, and so I'm glad he came back for season 2. And if you miss him on AEW like I do, like let me know. Adam Copeland, Edge. So Adam Copeland is in the series Percy Jackson. And he is in the new season, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It is a Disney Plus show. And they had a panel during San Diego Comic-Con. And Edge, I'm saying Edge, guys. Edge rolled on in on his scooter, because he's on a knee scooter from breaking his fucking leg. And he rolled on in and he ambushed the cast. And he kind of did some, talking shit with his nemesis on the show, which I thought was cool. Because if you really think about it, that is where wrestling meets pop culture. Like, he came in character and talked shit to his kayfabe enemy on the show. So I thought that was cool. It just adds hype to everything. It adds hype to the show. It adds hype to Adam Copeland. Like, it's really, really, really cool. Beth Phoenix and the family was there to support him. So I think we have a video of Edge possibly rolling in on his scooter. I know it's on Those Wrestling Girls Instagram, so make sure you go and check that out. But yeah, Adam Copeland was there at San Diego Comic-Con. So all in all, there was a huge wrestling presence there. So, we love to see those kinds of things. Shout out to AEW because they really, truly did make a splash at Comic-Con. So, next we have the Killer's Game. Batista has been busy. I honestly feel like this has become like a Keep Up with Batista show because we have talked about him a lot. But he is where WWE meets pop culture. He is a Hollywood movie star right now. He is out there. The posters were just revealed for his new movie, The Killer's Game. And I noticed that another WWE superstar was on there, and that is Drew McIntyre. He takes on the role of Rory McKenzie in the action film. The film is set to be released in theaters September 13th. Batista stars in it as Joe Flood, along with Ben Kingsley. Terry Crews is also in the movie. Real heavy hitters. It's based on a novel, and it follows the story of Joe Flood, a veteran assassin facing a life-threatening illness. So this is gonna be spicy. I am very excited to see it. I will put a link to the trailer in the description. Let me know what you think. Are you excited to see Drew McIntyre in his first major film? Like, this is exciting. This could be the start of so many different things. Hey, Keith. You was in when you saw Drew and Plaid. I mean, yeah, it's hard to resist. Who else is excited about this film? Who is excited about Drew McIntyre making his film debut, especially with Batista, which is pretty cool? Who is ready to see the Killers Game? Terence Crawford, boxer extraordinaire. I believe he's the world champion right now. And he was on Smackdown back-to-back. As you know, Smackdown was pre-taped, so he was on 2 episodes. But I think it's pretty cool because they were in his hometown of Nebraska. He mixed it up with the Street Profits. And he also knocked out Austin Theory with 1 punch. And my favorite thing about this is Grayson Waller's reaction. He is like, what is happening right now? And also the Crawford and Crawford thing with the Street Profits were cool. You know what I learned? That Montez Ford's name is Montez Ford because his last name is Crawford. I know it fucking blew my mind too. And I literally, hey Lady B, thank you for watching. Welcome to Where WWE Meets Pop Culture. We talk about the fun wrestling news from outside of the ring, and all the celebrities that come through wrestling. So Terence Crawford, I know this is not going to be the last time we see him. You could tell how much fun he had. You could tell that he's probably been a fan growing up. So I just love these crossovers. I think it's freaking awesome. So this is my favorite part of the show. It is called Fashion Corner. The music is a little loud, but first up, we have Kelly, who just had twins. She had a girl and a boy. Oh my God. And she covered this French fashion magazine. Now, I know I'm going to butcher this pronunciation because I do not speak French, believe it or not. Weve. That sounds French, right? That sounds French and fancy, right? Weve. Yeah. So she was on the cover of this magazine. It is ranked the 11th top fashion magazine in France. So I think that's something because there's a lot of fashion magazines in France. And she covered this magazine with her twins. So of course she looks fabulous in the feature spread because she's Kelly. But she also did another cover. So you see this cover with her daughter. She did another cover. So there's 2. And one with her twin son. And I love it because they're in the tuxedos or whatever. I just think this is really cute. Kelly has done tons of things in fashion. She's Kelly, of course she has. But I just think these are gorgeous. She talks about being a new mom, being a working mom. And these are the types of stories that are important. I agree, guys. I think she looks great. So Lady B is saying that she wants to see Kelly versus Chelsea Green. I am personally a Chelsea Green mark. And also, just to make another connection between this, is that Chelsea Green has been on the cover of a few different magazines, and she loves fashion. Chelsea Green also posted her headshot today on Instagram. So I'm very curious to know, like, what does that mean? Like, Chelsea Green has been training and acting for years now because she knew that it would make her a better wrestler. So I'm curious to see, like, what happens now? Like, who's going to cast Chelsea Green? Let me know, because you will not be disappointed. I promise you. I said with WWE, I said, yo, if y'all hire Chelsea Green again, you will not be disappointed. And guess what? She is delivering. Okay. Really quick. Hey, Letty. Really quick, I just want to welcome everyone. I see people are jumping into the stream. Welcome. I am Queen P.R, one half of those wrestling girls, and this is where WWE meets pop culture. You can find me every Monday night at 7 p.m. before Raw, and we get into all the top rope tea, what all your favorite wrestlers are doing outside of the ring. So welcome. And if you are not already subscribed to those Wrestling Girls YouTube channel, please do so right now. Hit that bell for notifications and make sure you check out all of our social media because we are everywhere. Okay, so next for our fashion corner is Miss Nia Jax. Okay, did you guys know, and I could just be late, that she is a Fashion Nova Curve ambassador? Now, say what you want about Fashion Nova, but I'm more interested in what this means for Nia Jax's status. Being a Fashion Nova ambassador right now is sort of the kind of check mark on your influencer status and like whether or not you like about that. And the fact that Nia Jax is affiliated with Fashion Nova is really cool. I will also educate you on the fact that Nia Jax was a model in the past. You might have even seen some of her early headshots going viral recently, and she like made a joke like, I gotta start doing more cardio or something like that. But she does have experience being a model. She has been a plus size model. If you are one of the OG Total Divas fans, she modeled in their swim line fashion show. So this is not new to Nia Jax, and as you can see about how fucking fabulous and beautiful she is, like this, you know, the fashion game is where she belongs. So follow Nia Jax right now. Give some love on this post. I love the transitions that she's doing, how she puts outfits together. I think she's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really, really excited for her. So yes, Nia is gorge, Lady B. And that was this week's Fashion Corner. Next, so the superstars in this photo right here, I'm just gonna list them off real quick. You might recognize some of them. Lita, Mickie James, Summer Rae. I know that's not her real name, but that's what we're gonna. She's Summer Rae today. Michelle McKenzie, Maria Kanellis, and new mom Kelly was out for Best Trivia Ever. So I did some digging, and what Best Trivia Ever is, it is a company that goes around the country and they go to bars and restaurants and they host these trivia events, and they're different themes, and they bring in like different celebrities, and like it's really, really, really cool. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting involved in doing like some social work for them because I really love what they do. But this particular one was a women's wrestling trivia night, and it was held at Yellow Kings Brews in Connecticut. And they invited these wonderful women for a meet and greet and to also watch women's wrestling trivia, which I thought was so cool. And I was like, if I lived in Connecticut, I would have been there. But just imagine, because I know there's a lot of trivia like fiends out there. Just imagine you get invited to a trivia night event, and you're like, oh, women's wrestling, boom, there, I got it. And then you walk in, and there's like Lita, Mickie James, and fucking Maria Kanellis there. Kelly. Like, how do you even compete? How do you even fucking concentrate? Having to answer these questions in front of these freaking legends. Okay? Do you guys, okay, I want to know, do you guys think y'all can hold your own in a women's wrestling trivia night with these ladies watching you? Let me know. But yeah, this looked like a really cool event. I follow Best Trivia Ever on Instagram just to kind of keep up with what they were doing. It looks like Mickie James is a big advocate of this company. She's been championing a lot of things for wrestlers to do outside of the ring, which I'm really, really excited about. So next, we have. This is actually really, really funny.
You know, we've never had drunk sex.
Okay, we have.
Have we?
We have. And I don't know
Wait,
if
when?
Yeah. So how many of you have been sober and had sex with somebody who was drunk? Because that's not so great.
No, but you know,
Okay, so that clip was from Nikki and Brie Garcia. They have gone on tour. They have a podcast. And those OG Bella Twins fans know that they've had a podcast and a YouTube channel for a while. But since they've sort of separated themselves from WWE, they have a podcast and YouTube channel, Nikki and Brie Garcia. But their podcast has always been super entertaining because Nikki and Brie are super entertaining, hence why they had a reality show for 10 years. But they have their spouses on a lot and they get really candid about a lot of different things. So they've recently toured their podcast and it's called the Moms Gone Wild Tour, and their wine sponsors it. And they were in San Francisco, and Daniel Bryan, or Brian Daniels, or whatever the fuck you want to call him, he was a special guest. And I don't know why or how drunk sex came into place, but they started talking about drunk sex and they say how they've never had it, and if you've watched the Total Divas or Total Bellas, you know, like Brian and Brie's sex life is very conservative compared to most. They don't, he doesn't enjoy having drunk sex. They do a tons of foreplay. Like, I don't want to get too much into their sex life, but it's all been out on television at this point. So I love Brian being a part of it and having this funny conversation about it. He's such a good sport. Also, how adorable is Brie? But I want to know from you guys, because Brian did bring up a good point. Is drunk sex fun? Like, there's that myth. Like, is it fun? Is it as amazing as people say it is? And then also you have to think about, like, what if you're the sober one? Like, is it as fun for the sober person? And you even see Nikki like, Brian might have a good point there. So I just had to share that. And I think their tour is still going on. So if you want to see them on tour, I will find out and post the ticket link in the description. But one thing I do want to shout out as well, because I'm just so proud of my girls, is that they hosted the official Love Island podcast. Okay, Love Island, one of the most streamed shows on Peacock, one of the most obsessed reality show right now about love. They hosted the official after show podcast called Spill the Tea. And I just think that is just so dope for them. I am so proud of them. Let me know. Lady B said, I've been the sober one. Oops. Okay, so you feel what Brian is saying, where it's not that fun. It ain't as good as you think it is. I want to know. Oh, man. Next, we have if you've been a fan of pop culture, we did a Super Bowl version. We did an Australian version, I want to say. And it was us covering everything that the WWE superstars were doing in Australia at the Super Bowl. And it was really fun because they were exploring the city. But I think this Japan tour was just so grueling. And it was just so much travel that a lot of the Jade and Bianca definitely made sure they posted a lot from their time in Japan. I think it was Jade as an anime character, very on brand for her. She was trying on, going to clothing stores, trying on different clothes. I think we have some video of sort of what our two favorite women were getting up to in Japan. just, I like when the stars are able to sort of, sightsee, because even myself, I'm planning going to Cleveland this weekend for a work trip ultimately, and I'm like, wait, I don't even have time to explore Cleveland because I'm going to be busy working, and I can only imagine what it's like for WWE superstars. But you see here that Jade and Bianca was able to bring their fine ass chocolate men with them on this tour, and they was able to do a lot of stuff. Oh, speaking, you see Montez. You see Montez there. But they were able to actually live it up and have a little bit of fun. People, other superstars are just starting to post their stuff from Japan. But I really enjoy watching them go out and experience the different countries that they're in, because I think that's one of the coolest things about WWE. And we don't have to play it again, but I think one of the fun things about WWE is being able to travel the world and see these cities, these countries and stuff for the first time. And the fact that they were able to have like these really cool date nights and these couple trips that are like once in a lifetime opportunities, and just seeing these Black queens live it up in Tokyo was a lot of fun. Has anyone been to Tokyo? Like, that's one of those places I feel everyone I know personally that have been to Tokyo always say that it is like the best place they've ever been. Like, they're like, I want to go and like never come back. I remember Mercedes Monet's interview with the Kick Rocks podcast, and she talked about how visiting Japan was life-changing for her. Like, she would live there if she could. So I was even more interested to see what WWE superstars do there. And Japan is a huge, as you know, is really big in wrestling, and just seeing WWE's presence there was dope, and seeing other wrestlers being able to have matches there is really cool. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on WWE Japan's page and just kind of like where that goes, because Tony Khan and Triple H have been very strategic with what they're doing with Japan, and I'm tuned in. I'm tuned in. So we going from Tokyo all the way to Cleveland, because guess what? SummerSlam is on Saturday. So we have some WWE superstars that are known for being from Cleveland. I personally like to big up The Miz. And if you've seen his if you've seen his A&E doc, it was so good. Oh my God, I loved it so much. But Johnny Gargano is also from Cleveland, and I didn't even know this was his tradition, but every time he wins a championship belt, he takes a photo in front of this "Welcome to Cleveland" sign in the airport, which I think is cool. I'm a big fan of traditions, and I also just love a good photo op. Like, these look so cool. And also, like, how cool is that for him? Like, being able to take championships home, literally. Like, that is really, really dope. But we're gonna be in Cleveland this weekend. Johnny Gargano was busy with his beautiful little family. Look at his little family. He was at Panini, which is the world's largest sports and entertainment collectibles company. So they specialize in like soccer, NBA, NFL, NASCAR, WWE, collegiate sports. Like, they are all about the collectibles. And he was able to be there, and they let him and his family look at different like collectible cards and stuff like that. And I just love all of these opportunities, because like, this is media and press for him for WWE, but this is also like his interest, him and his wife. And then he got to bring his adorable little son. I love stuff like this. Anyone's been to the Panini Festival? It usually takes place in Cleveland. National Sports Collectors Convention. It's cool to collect is the tagline, and I think like it's nice to hear that, especially wrestling fans, because like we collect so much shit. Like, I'm just looking around my background alone, and I'm just like, we collect so much shit, and it's like all in here. So when like I learned about like there's other conventions like Panini that really just like shows what it's all about. Like, I really love that. So in Cleveland, there are so many things to do in Cleveland besides SummerSlam. I have talked about Westside Gun's event, Heels Have Eyes 2. It is an art, culture, and wrestling event happening at the House of Blues Friday night. Tickets are still on sale, and it's sold out, and the resale tickets are crazy. So if you haven't gotten a ticket already and you're going to be in Cleveland, I suggest you get a ticket right this second. I want to shout out Westside Gun's team who reached out to me, and they love the coverage that I did on the event. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to attend. Like, it's so busy this weekend, but I want to go to the event. I want to tell you guys how it was. I wasn't able to go to the first one in Philadelphia, but I do want to go to the one in Cleveland. It is an art, culture, entertainment experience. If you want to learn more about Westside Gun's wrestling brand, Fourth Rope, who presents this event, I suggest you follow those wrestling girls on social media because we have been posting a lot about it. I'm very passionate about not even where wrestling meets pop culture, but also where wrestling meets hip hop, because these are two things that don't get the props it deserves for like uniting people and being pop culture. So when I see hip hop and wrestling come together and create dope shit, I'm like all the way here for it. So this is definitely something to do in Cleveland if you are going to be there, as well as Damian Priest live. So there will be a screening for Damian Priest WWE 24 special, and it is, I've already heard great things about it, and I haven't even seen it, and I hope that I get to go to this screening this weekend. But it talks to his friends, it talks to his family, it talks about his career coming up. Like, WWE is where he is now, but he has done so many things in wrestling before he even got to the E, and I'm excited to see his story play out in the 24 format. So if you want to go to that, I also put the ticket link in the description as well. So you can go to that on Friday. You could also see Sami, Zayn, and Friends do Cleveland, and this is a comedy show. So there was only supposed to be just one in Canada during Money in the Bank, but it was such a success that they are doing it now in Cleveland. So Sami Zayn is joined by other surprise guests to do a comedy show. I hope to be there as well. That is also Friday night. And if you love Sami Zayn and you love to laugh, I feel like this is definitely something that you need to go to. And if anyone's gone to Sami Zayn's show, like if you went to his one in Toronto, like I want to know how it was. I'm very curious. Was it funny? Let me know. Oh, before we move on, I do want to just talk about quickly how Sami Zayn got into comedy, because I'm sure, we all find him funny. We all laugh at him. We've all seen him break the entire bloodline. Like, he's broken them so many times in the ring. But he says, quote, "Comedy is something I was always interested in. The comedic side of wrestling has always appealed to me. I've done a lot of that throughout my career. And then the opportunity just sort of came up not long ago when he got an agent." So that was an interesting piece of tea. He does have an agent. So that just also goes to show you how the business of WWE is changing, where you can have your own agent, you can make your own business deals, and then you can come back to WWE and say like, oh, okay, well, my agent thinks I should do a comedy show, and then being able to go to WWE and they meet you halfway with it and be like, oh, okay, cool, we're gonna make this a thing. I think it's really cool, because I don't think that there was that kind of freedom before. I think there was a control factor where WWE felt like they had to control everything that you did outside the ring. But with the Netflix partnership and Sami Zayn being a part of the Netflix is a Joke comedy festival, like there's so many opportunities there, and I like seeing WWE taking advantage of those opportunities, and also why this show exists, because I love talking about these sorts of things. So you can see Sami Zayn and Friends do Cleveland in a dope comedy show in Cleveland. You can also see Undertaker's One Dead Man show. I have not been to one yet. He's been doing them since last year. He's doing one in Cleveland on Saturday. I will also put the tickets to that show as well. I don't listen to Undertaker's podcast, so if you do, I would love to know how it is. I would love to know, is it worth going to the show? Lady B says, as someone who works in PR, every wrestler should have their own agent and publicist. It's great to see. I absolutely agree, because these are talents in the entertainment industry that are capable of things that most actors are not. So everyone in wrestling that has charisma and the it factor should have representation and should be exploring what they can do outside of the ring, because there is a life outside of the ring and you have to start preparing for that. And I am so glad that the culture of wrestling now is to explore what's next and not just be tied to, nothing's going to come for a wrestler. Nothing is going to compare to wrestling in a ring in front of people. But at the same time, you cannot do that forever. So why not start seeing what you can do outside of the ring? I love it. Me and you, Lady B, we on the same page. I love it. So Jelly Roll is the official theme song artist for SummerSlam. He is featuring 2 of his songs for this weekend. Triple H has already asked him if he minds performing during SummerSlam, so I'm pretty sure we'll get a Jelly Roll performance this weekend in Cleveland. But this is just another example of WWE with their finger on the pulse. Jelly Roll is one of the hottest country artists right now. He transcends a lot of different genres. You saw his commercial with WWE advertising his involvement in SummerSlam. So Jelly Roll being a part of it, very, good job. Good job, WWE. Good job. I do enjoy Jelly Roll. I can't tell you any of his songs, but I watch his interviews and I just think he's such a genuine, authentic person who's been through a lot, who cares about his craft, who cares about his music, he cares about his wife. And he's just overall a really good guy and somebody that you're like, oh, okay, of course you're a part of WWE. It makes total sense. So I'm excited to hear his songs this weekend in Cleveland. Any Jelly Roll fans out there, let me know, because I want to know what songs I need to listen to, because what if I get the chance to meet him or something this weekend? I need to know what's up. But this also just gets me excited. This also just makes me excited about Survivor Series. I know SummerSlam hasn't even happened yet, but the way WWE's been elevating, I know you guys heard about WrestleMania possibly being in London in 2026. That's something I'm particularly excited for, especially because I work for a British company. So I'm like, oh, okay, I have a real reason to go over to the UK. But yeah, Triple H has been talking to people over there about hosting a WrestleMania, and I really don't think, I think we might have a quick clip from that, but I don't think Triple H would, or even just WWE in general, would be posting on social media about WrestleMania in the UK if it wasn't a short thing. Because they have really been pumping that as if it is official and about to happen. So let me know how you guys think about WrestleMania in London. Also, we could be losing Pat McAfee again this time of year. He's a football guy. At the end of the day, he is back. He will be returning to ESPN College Game Day, which means he may most likely be taking a break from WWE to go back to ESPN College Game Day. And, we love some Pat McAfee in WWE. He did take a hiatus last year as well. So I kind of mentally prepared myself for the possibility that he could be away during the beginning of football season, which get the bag. Get the motherfucking bag, Pat McAfee. We will welcome you back with open arms whenever you can come back. So this was a really, really, really fun show. Wrestling Realm posed a very interesting question. Who could be the main event in London for WrestleMania? So we're talking about a year and a half from now, which is insane to already think about. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say Roman. Roman and someone. Roman and someone will be the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. And then some epic women's match will be the main event of Night 1 in WrestleMania London in 2026. So what would that be? 42? WrestleMania 42. So if WrestleMania 42 is in London, I want an epic women's match to main event night 1. Wrestling Realm said Roman versus Rock. Okay. I would like to see that. Paige and Becky night 1. Ooh, spicy. Oh my god. If fucking Saraya comes back to WWE in time for WrestleMania in her home country, you know what? Call me crazy, but that should be her retirement match. Because we all know physically Paige cannot wrestle forever. And I can already tell that she's picking and choosing her matches because she knows that she doesn't have that many matches left in her. And I would love to see all the greats retire in WWE. You hear that, Edge and Daniel Bryan? All the greats should retire in WWE. And I think Saraya is like one of those people. And if she could possibly like do the Trish and have like this epic send-off at WrestleMania in fucking London, like it does not get any fucking better than that. It really, really doesn't. And I think that is, see, Rakasha agrees. She's smart. She agrees. I think that is a good place to close out tonight's show. I want to thank everybody for joining me once again for another edition of Where WWE Meets Pop Culture. This is the show where you will keep key with me, Queen P.R, every Monday night to talk about all the top rope tea, all the fun wrestling news that happens outside of the ring. And I really hope that you guys come to this every week and learn a little something new about some of your favorite wrestlers, because that is one of my favorite parts of doing this show. I want to thank the producer for all of their hard work, as always on the show. I could not do this without you. I want to shout out Krista B and the rest of those Wrestling Girls Network. We stream about 5 nights a week now. So if you are not already, please subscribe to Those Wrestling Girls YouTube channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Become a patron for only $1 a month for exclusive content. Follow me, Queen PR, on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. And I have really been feeling Instagram threads. I love threads. Threads is super fun. It feels like Twitter back in 2010. And if you know, you know. So if you are not on Threads, I suggest you get on Threads and make sure you follow me. And let's talk about women's sports, women's wrestling. Let's talk about it all. I love Threads. Make sure you follow me. I will follow you back. I want to thank everyone who is already in the TWG family who came tonight to join me for the show. I also want to shout out all of our newbies out there who are new to Those Wrestling Girls and have not come to one of our streams. Thank you for joining us. We are live on YouTube and Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and once a month on Thursday for Thirsty Thursdays. So this is a really fun platform where wrestling fans get together and we kiki, and I cannot wait for this weekend in Cleveland, and then to recap all of you on this weekend next Monday for WWE, where WWE Meets Pop Culture, because I will be in Cleveland, I will be everywhere, and I will be creating content everywhere and bringing it all back to you all. And I love you all, and thank you for joining me for another edition of Where WWE Meets Pop Culture live. And I will see you next week.
Thank you.